Also, bit of good news. Now, as you know, for weeks and months, we have been thumping the table and screaming to see all Australians be reunited. And thankfully, that is now the case now that Western Australia has reopened to so many states, a couple of days before it truly goes around. But before I get into everything serious, and I've got lots to yell about tonight, we should marvel and enjoy the moments, but never forget, there is no reason for these people to have been kept apart like they were. They were kept apart by state politics. State politics that worked in Queensland, worked in the Northern Territory, worked in New Zealand, and it will work in Western Australia. But I don't care. I don't care if Emperor McGowan wins every single seat downstairs and every single seat upstairs. He is not a king. And he does not have a contact tracing system. He does not have the capacity to be able to deal with the virus when inevitably hotel quarantine springs a leak. The difference between competent governments, like the one in New South Wales, is if it's a leak, guess what? They fix the leak. If it's Victoria, the leak becomes a torrent and then they pretend, oh, nothing, no one's responsibility. That's the difference between competence and incompetence. And can you believe, even on the day when Western Australians are being reunited with their family and friends from around the rest of the country, he is still trying to scare people because, of course, there is an election, which means he will close the borders because someone somewhere will have the sniffles between now and March.
We do still have the controlled border, and the controlled border means that we can put the hard border back up immediately if we need to. But obviously, we just warn everyone we're not out of the woods yet, and if we need to put the hard border back up in the future, we will.
Seriously, I know he's going to thump it in at the election, but I could not care less. If this is the lowest road possible to political success, the lowest road possible, literally scaring you within an inch of your life about a thing that 99% of people, if they get it, end up surviving as a result of it. By now, we've all well established what COVID is and also what it is not. And it ain't the blob that we were worried about months and months and months ago, because Australia is, and I hate to break this to you, it's no fault or any reasoning of any state premier or no success of any prime minister. We are an island by design of greater forces or just tectonic plates. It means we were able to keep the virus out. Meantime, our very own Samantha Chiari is a proud West Australian. Her parents watch us each and every night. Big shout out to her dad, who I know is a very frequent viewer of the program. Well, she is due to, go and see her family, but because she arrived before the border came down, she is in hotel quarantine. She does not have the virus. None of her family has the virus. She's from a place that does not have the virus, and that's of whence she has travelled. But she's not going to be allowed out early from her 14 days in hotel confinement because, I don't know, Goldilocks is in charge and they just make up the rules like a nursery rhyme.
Now, we've had to call the police several times, especially in the wake of yesterday when he announced that he was going to open freely to Victoria and New South Wales. No quarantine as of today, and we are getting a big fat no from authorities here in Perth. So I've still got 7 days to go, only halfway through. I guess the biggest issue for us is there is no logical reasoning. We've been here for a week. We're all happy to go and get COVID tests. Come home, self-isolate, subject to the results, and then we should be free to go.
Ridiculous. Sorry, I was a little too excited to get Samantha's face on the television, but she's staying at home with her family. You do home quarantine for some people in Western Australia. But if she had arrived on a plane today from New South Wales, she'd be able to walk in and out of the house because she was there a week ago. No, you must stay for a full 14 days. They make this stuff up as they go along.